Hi everyone, my name is Aviad. I'm a senior developer at AuraPlayer, and in this video I would like to demo you one of our template apps that implements the expenses module on top of Oracle EBS system. So this will be the opening page of our template apps. We'll start by logging in into one of our test users, and this will get us to the opening page, which shows all the HR modules that we are currently supporting in uh, in our template apps collection. And in this video, we will focus on the expenses report. So we'll just click on the expenses button, and this will get us into the first page of the expenses model, which will be the list of the currently submitted expense report. So our applications are mobile tuned, which means they have responsive UI that can fit itself to any size of your mobile device. And they also can take advantage of some additional things on your mobile that we will demo and during this demo. So right now you can see the table of all the available reports. You can see that we display um, only the columns that can fit the width of this mobile device, which we simulate on the browser. And any additional field can be displayed by just expanding each of the rows according to the real estate that we have on this mobile view. And for each report, we have a few actions that we can do on this report, like withdrawing it, show the details, etc. But we will start by creating a new report. So we will press on the new report button here, and this will get us to the first step of creating an expense report, which will be to state what is the purpose of this response. We will put it here. You can see here the employee name, the department. We can change the default currency that we're working with. If we have few templates that are configured on our system, we can choose which template we want to use right now. It's important to say that all the information, all the data that you see on the template app is coming directly from your Oracle EBS system, as the mobile application, the template application of us is working directly and online with the EBS system underneath. So everything that exists in the EBS system will be reflected here. Any actions that we will do will be done immediately on the EBS system. We also have here the option to override the default approver. If we want to do that, we can just press on this search button. This will show us the search window for the available approvals in our system. We will look for example, for specific approval on this test system, and let's select one of them and go to the next step. On our test system, the user that we logged in is configured to work with company credit cards. So it will get us directly to the step where you can set transactions, select transaction, and add them to your expense report from your available credit cards. This user is configured to have multiple credit cards. So we can browse and move between the available credit cards. Once we see the transactions that we want to add to our report, we'll just select it. We can select, of course, multiple transactions and move to the next step. So here's the transaction from the credit card that we have selected, and now we are asked to fill in the missing details for this transaction, as when you are taking a transaction from your credit card report, it will take all the available information that it could extract from this transaction. This is being done by the EBS system itself. We are just getting the information from there, and you would need to fill the additional information that does not exist on your credit card information. So here it is. It's already selected that this is an airfare. This is the amount that was taken from the transaction. Now we can add here the justification. We can set here the air travel type and any other information that we want. And once we are done, we'll just press here the done button, and this transaction is ready to get into the expense report. Now we can get to the next step, which is of course optional, and add a cash transaction. It could be receipt-based transaction, per diem, mileage. We support them all. So let's start by showing how we add a cash transaction. Let's press here on the plus button and add our first cash transaction. We will open here the expense type. Here you can see all the list of expense types available on our system. And this is a good point to state that this template app is tuned to our test system, but it is a configurable application that can be customized to any EBS test system. So if in your iExpense module there are different customizations like different expense type, different fields for each expense type, etc., we can easily and in a relative short time tune our application to work with your specific iExpense model. So here let's choose the hotel expense type and let's put here uh, some amount, choose a date, put a justification, and we can also add here an attachment. So since this is running on our mobile device, we can also use the camera of this device. And if I was running it on a real mobile device, I could just press this button, it would open the camera for me, I could take a picture and it will add it as an attachment. Since we're working currently on a desktop, I'll just choose to select the file from my file system. So let's select one of the uh, files here. And I can add another line, or I can say I'm done with this type of expenses for this report. And here we can have a demo of how our expense template app is working hand by hand with the EBS test system. So here we can see a business logic rule that was just popped up from the EBS test system itself. It says that this type of expense needs to be filled with expense location, and we didn't fill it. So let's add the expense location. Again, it will open us the search box. We can select one of the locations, and all the information of all the available location is also taken, of course, from your Oracle EBS test system. And let's press the done button again. And again, we get here a warning from our test system. It says that we have a policy saying that we can have hotel only up to $100, and we can decide whether we want to continue or to cancel. We will choose to continue, as this is also an option in our EBS system. And we can see that this line was added to our report. Now let's go quickly and demo the per diem and the mileage. So I'll click on the per diem, add the plus sign. This is the expense type of per diem. It has different fields. So I can just put here the start day, put here number of days. I have here the option to select the destination. So let's select one of our locations here, put a justification. And we also have here the calculate button, which will calculate for us the amount of expenses that is taken, that is calculated by the system. Again, this is a calculation that is done on the EBS side, and we are just showing it as it was customized on your system. And we can press done and have a quick look at our mileage expense type. We'll press the plus. These are the fields that are relevant for the mileage lines. So we just select a date. We will put here number of days, set justification. We need to put here a trip distance, select the distance unit taken from the EBS system as it is configured there. We also have here the calculate button that will calculate for us the expense, and we can press the done button. So now we also have a mileage expense. Let's go to the next step and press the next button. And this will take us to the expense allocation step. On some system it is configured, on others are not, but in our test system it is configured. This is where you can attach specific project and task to each of your expenses, and you have two options to do that. You can press this button and select one project and task to be set for all the expenses, or you can do it one by one. Let's demo how we can do it one by one. So to do that one by one, I'll just go to the specific line that I want to change. I'll press here the search button, look for the available projects that we have. I'll select the first one. I'll also select here a task. And I'm set with this with allocating the project and the task for this specific line. Okay, so now I'm ready to go to the next step. And the next step would be the review of this expense type. You can see here that I have a policy violation. This was the hotel that we have entered with an amount that is larger than the policy. So it shows me the violation here. I'll press OK. And I can see here all the expense types that I've set. I can just, at this stage, I can also add an attachment at the level of the whole report if I want to. And I can drill to any one of these expenses. Let's drill into the cash lines and see what I have entered. You can see here the policy violations that I have. It shows me the problem that I have. I can get into the line details and see exactly what I've entered. And I also have the option here to add more attachment at this step if I want. I can press here the attachment, and as you can see, I can add more attachment to this report, to this specific line. So let's get back to the review page and just submit this new report. And it was submitted. It says here that expense report 184190 was entered into my system. So I can just press the OK button here. This will get me back to the list of the expense reports. I can see the new report here. Here it is. I can see the details of this report. I can get into this report. Sorry, this one is duplicated the report. Can get into this report and see all the details like I've seen before. Or I can withdraw the report or duplicate and create a new report out of this one. So that's it. That's the end of the flow for creating a new report.